In my family, my fiance typically does all the cooking, and that's for some pretty good reasons. However, there's one or two things I make pretty well. One of the things I make well is chicken tenders. Today, I'd like to show you how you can make your own chicken tenders. First thing I start off with is boneless, skinless chicken breast. Once I get my boneless, skinless chicken breast, I go ahead and I cut it into 1-inch slices. Once you have your 1-inch slice, it should look a little something like this. Once I have all my chicken cut into 1-inch slices, I like to gather all my ingredients and put them next to each other. Some of the ingredients that you're going to need for chicken tenders is flour or breadcrumbs. I like to use panko. It's a seasoned breadcrumb from Japan. Also, you're going to need egg, milk, and some seasonings. The ratio of egg and milk isn't super critical because the whole point of it is only to moisten the chicken so that the breadcrumbs stay on it. As far as seasonings, I use salt and pepper. You can tailor these seasonings for your own family. You could add chipotle, you could add any type of rub that you'd like to try. It's really just up to you and what your family likes to eat. So once I have all my ingredients together, first step that I need to do is I need to season my chicken tenders. I'm going to take my salt and my pepper and sprinkle it on there. I do that prior to putting in the milk. I know I'm going to lose some of the salt and pepper, but that's okay because my breadcrumbs are already seasoned. So I'm going to take it and put it in the milk and just dip it in there. Again, it's just to get it wet so that my breadcrumbs stick to it. Then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the breadcrumbs. Once I have this step done, go ahead and repeat it again. The reason I do it twice is so that my chicken tenders get nice and crispy. Once again, this is a recipe that can be tailored, so if you don't like your chicken tenders crunchy, you like them a little softer, just go ahead and coat them once. Once I have my chicken tenders all ready, I'd like to start talking about how to cook them. In my family, we usually fry them, but they can also be baked. So let's start talking about baking it first. You're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. You're going to put your chicken tenders on a cookie sheet. I usually like to line it with aluminum foil so it doesn't make a mess. And you're going to cook it from 12 to 15 minutes until golden brown. If you're frying your chicken tenders, you're going to go ahead and heat your fryer to 375 degrees. And the frying process usually takes about 4 to 5 minutes. The way I can usually tell that my chicken tenders are done is that they will tend to float to the top. And when they're all set, they will come out looking a little something like this. But let's take a few minutes and talk about the afterwards of the chicken tenders also. One thing that you need that's really important to know is that these ingredients that are left over here, other than the salt and pepper, cannot be reused. And the reason that they can't be reused is for fear of cross-contamination. If I was to take these breadcrumbs and use them again, or this egg wash and use them again, well, that would most likely be contaminated with salmonella, and then my family would get sick. So once this is all done, what you're going to need to do is go ahead and discard of any of it, so that way your family doesn't get sick. Now back to our chicken tenders again. Once the chicken tenders are all set, you can mix them with a variety of sauces. And this is one of the reasons I really like this recipe. As you can see, as I've gone along, there's many different ways that you can change it up a little bit so that no matter what you like and what your family likes, you can find some way that it will work for you. We usually use like honey mustard or barbecue sauce, but it's anything that you want to do. Also, the reason I like this recipe is because it's very quick. My family's busy and we go to softball many nights a week. So what I like to do is get them cooked up, take them with us in the car, and then eat them on the go. So let's just go ahead and recap one more time about all the steps and the ingredients that we need. You're going to need a boneless, skinless chicken breast, and you're going to need to cut them into 1-inch strips. One thing I had forgotten to mention is that if you're in the supermarket and you see chicken tenderloins and they're on sale, you can go ahead and pick those up too because they're already cut to the correct size. It'll save you just a little bit of time. You're going to need flour or breadcrumbs. You're going to need milk. You're going to need egg. And you're going to need seasonings. And a lot of times, you already have most of these ingredients in your kitchen, so a lot of times all I end up having to do is just pick up the chicken. So this is how I make chicken strips, chicken tenders, and I hope that by me showing you how, I've taught you a way that you can make a super easy recipe super fast for your family, and I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you.